A new report has just came out that has massive implications on what Cincinnati is going to do with their first overall pick, and it involves a tight end on the Cincinnati Bengals. Yes, apparently I love talking about tight ends. Before I jump into the report, that number keeps going down, guys. We're at 93.9% of you not subscribed right now. Do me a favor, please hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 400, on the road to 500, and I know we can get there, and probably at the end of this week we can get to 500. But once again, I just want to thank you guys for all the love, the support you've been giving the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for commenting. And some of you yesterday, or maybe even today, I think it was posted today, called me out. Please do that. If I make a mistake, call me out. I might not appreciate it in the moment, but I appreciate it long term. So if I make a mistake, say someone's name wrong, get information wrong, or just completely misinformation, let me know down in the comments below. I will be butthurt at first, but it is better for me in the long run. So thank you very much. But without further ado, let's jump right into it. And it's actually extremely upsetting news. Cincinnati tight end Erick All expected to miss 2025 season due to injury. This report came from this tweet. New Bengals rookie tight end Erick All Jr. is expected to miss the 2025 season due to his ACL injury suffered November 3rd. All's injury exposed a complicated fix from a previous ACL tear and requires 2 surgeries. So if you go to the tweet, you can read more about it. But basically, Erick All Jr. this past season in 2024-25 season tore his ACL, which made him miss the remainder of the season. And according to this report, according to the tweet, this ACL tear revealed something like the tweet says that was not fixed correctly from a previous ACL tear, which now requires that Erick All is now going to have to go through 2 surgeries to fix his now ACL tear, but then the other complicated ACL tear that wasn't fixed correctly, have to fix that as well. So he's projected now to miss the 2025 season. And I've talked about tight ends before. And with this report, that means in 2025, we have 2 tight ends on our roster right now. That's not including Mike Gesicki, and that's not including Erick All. Because Mike Gesicki, right now, he's not a Cincinnati Bengal. Erick All Jr., right now, he's a Bengal, but he's going to miss the 2025 season. The 2 guys we have on the roster is Drew Sample and Tanner Hudson. Let's first look at Drew Sample this season, right? This season, Drew Sample, 20 receptions, 109 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 5.4 yards per catch. What about my boy Tanner Hudson, right? 19 receptions, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, averaging 8.1 yards per catch. If you're telling me Cincinnati doesn't have a tight end issue, you're completely wrong. If we don't, for whatever reason, yes, I'm on the boat of re-signing Mike Gesicki. I want to sign Mike Gesicki. But even if we still sign Mike Gesicki, there's a massive gap between Gesicki and the rest of our tight ends. A tight end is probably one of the most now with Erick All's injury, which some people have speculated maybe is going to cause longer-term problems with his ACLs. This is about his 3rd or 4th ACL tear. That's getting scary close to career ending. I don't know how many times you can tear your ACL and keep playing the game of football. But with Mike Gesicki, we're going to have to pay him after having one of the best seasons of his career. Let's look at Mike Gesicki. Let's look at his career. That's Erick All, sorry. Let's go to Mike Gesicki, right? In 2024, 65 receptions, 665 yards, 2 touchdowns, averaging 10.2 yards per catch. Overall PFF grade, 71.5. Overall, 13th among all tight ends. And his receiving grade, 71.1, 18th among all tight ends. So he had a great season. He had his 2nd best season of his career. I think we should re-sign him. But I think we need to go get somebody else for the long term. Mike Gesicki's older. He's a veteran. He's been in the league for a while. Not saying he's going to retire after next season, but he's not going to be playing for the next 12 seasons. So there's a couple guys that I wouldn't be mad about us getting in the 1st or 2nd round. Because look at it. Even if we sign Mike Gesicki, I would rather, Cincinnati has gone in a rotation of getting a new tight end every single year. It's happened the last 4 years. Started with CJ, then we went to, oh my goodness, last season, I'm blanking. Why am I blanking? Oh, Hayden Hurst. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. It went from CJ to Hayden Hurst and Mike Gesicki. All of them had one of their best, or if not the best, seasons of their career with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow utilizes the tight ends. Sorry about that blank I had earlier, or a little bit ago. But what sounds better than recycling tight ends every single year, but then do what every other team is doing the last couple years? Think about this season. Who was the best tight end in the league? Brock Bowers, who I thought we should have drafted, didn't fall to us last season, right? The year before that, who was the best tight end in the league? Sam Laporta. You know what they have in common? They were both rookies that season. It is going on a trend that whoever is drafted first tight end overall, and what about even Dalton Kincaid? He's a great tight end. And there's so many tight ends young, and especially in this draft, that you could draft and could potentially be the best tight end this upcoming season. And I'm tired of going through the recycling of different tight ends. I love Mike Gesicki. I think we should re-sign him. But I would still like to go draft a guy who's going to be in Cincinnati for his whole career. And there's two guys, at least, that I think could be franchise tight ends. Let's jump right into it. This guy, University of Michigan. I am an Ohio State fan, and I think we can name ourselves now the Cincinnati Wolverines with how many times we draft Michigan players. And I wouldn't be surprised if he turns out to be one of them. His name is Colston Loveland, right? His overall PFF grade this season was 85.9. And this season he had 56 catches for 582 yards, 5 touchdowns, averaging 10.4 yards per catch. He's a beast. He's a little bit of a smaller guy. Look at him. You can see him. That's one of his weaknesses. He's a great blocker, but he doesn't have the size. He's tall, not the size, the big size, muscle mass basically, to kind of be the best blocker of defensive edges. Like, obviously, a guy like Chris Jones is going to be able to most likely bully a guy like Colston Loveland. But Colston Loveland is a physical guy. He's a tall guy. He's a fast guy. He's very quick. So he has more agility to run more dynamic routes in the route tree. So he would be a huge pickup, which I think instead of, like I said, Cincinnati recycling tight ends, go get a guy like Colston Loveland who can be your tight end for the foreseeable future. Or get the guy I've talked about 5,000 times, Tyler Warren. More mock drafts are coming out of him going out earlier. The Colts going after him, Arizona going after him. But if he falls to 17, especially if we don't get to sign a contract with Mike Gesicki, to me, even now with Erick All not being able to play in 2025, even if we get Mike Gesicki, I think the first-round pick, and I've said this before Erick All got released that he might probably going to miss the 2025 season. I said the first pick should be the best player available who is going to start day one. And you might say, Mike Gesicki would be tight end 1. No, he would not. Tyler Warren would be tight end 1. Or fine, you could call him tight end 1 and 1A, and then tight end 1B. But Tyler Warren would see significant amount of snaps, and I've talked about him multiple times, but I'll go over his stats this season. Again, ready? Receptions, 104 yards, 1,233 as a tight end, 8 receiving touchdowns, averaging 11.9 yards per catch. And that's not it. Higgins involved in the run game as well. 26 carries for 218 yards and 4 rushing touchdowns. This guy is a utilities player. You can put him wherever. Just like how I categorized Brock Bowers last season as a wide receiver with a tight end build, Tyler Warren is the exact same. He's a wide receiver with a tight end build. And one of the amazing things about Tyler Warren, you can put him, because of his size, at the edge of the offensive line, and he would be able to help the tackle, like Orlando Brown and Amari Sims, against the pass rush. Or you could put him in the backfield, put him as a fullback, and he did that at Penn State. Put him in the fullback, allow him to run in front of Chase Brown, and Zach Moss if he's still on the team, and allow him to block because he's a great blocker. Look at his size and his speed. That's one of the little bit, because how big he is, he's fast, but he's not as quick. He's not as agile, so he has a more basic route tree, but it doesn't matter because he makes up for all of it in his pure athleticism. There's so many things that he can do. Literally, Penn State let that man throw the ball sometimes. He played center sometimes. He's basically Taysom Hill, pretty much. And Cincinnati could have him for the foreseeable future if you just go pick him at 17. And I know the comments are going to be like, oh, we don't need a tight end. We don't need a tight end. We need defense. We need defense. We need offensive line. I know. I've made multiple videos about it. But the first pick, or the first round pick, should be the best player available. And I think Tyler Warren might be the best athlete available this draft. Maybe you could argue Travis Hunter, which yes, now that I say it, probably Travis Hunter. But anyways, he's definitely top 5 athleticism-wise in this year's draft. And if he's available at 17, I'm taking him in a heartbeat, 100%, because he's not falling to the second round. Now, Colston Loveland, he might fall to the second round. If Tyler Warren doesn't fall to 17 and we need Colston Loveland in the second round, that's huge for Cincinnati. That's huge. Having Colston Loveland behind Mike Gesicki would be probably the best tight end room in the NFL. But, once again, if you go get a guy like Tyler Warren, I don't think you guys understand. You guys come at me in the comments every single time I talk about this kid. Go watch his highlights. I don't think you understand how freaking great this guy is. I live with a Penn State fan, and all we do is talk about Tyler Warren. He's a freaking beast. I wanted Brock Bowers so bad in the last draft, and the last team I expected to take him was the Raiders. I was devastated. Tyler Warren gives me the exact same feeling as Brock Bowers. I think Tyler Warren could match Brock Bowers' season this year and maybe even have a better season, right? Think about Brock Bowers. He had to go through Gardner Minshew, Desmond Ridder, and Aiden O'Connell. Tyler Warren would have Joe Burrow. Basically the same player, Brock Bowers to Tyler Warren. Brock Bowers having 3 mid-quarterbacks, or Brock Bowers having 3 mid-quarterbacks, still getting 1,000 yards, still being the best tight end in the league. And then imagine next season, Tyler Warren with Joe freaking Burrow, especially if we can sign T. Higgins. Imagine this offense, right? Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yoshavash, Tyler Warren, Mike Gesicki, Joe freaking Burrow, and Chase Brown in the backfield. There's not a single offense in the NFL that would have that amount of firepower. You can't double team all of them. You can't double team Chase, or you can, but then you're going to leave T one-on-one and Tyler Warren one-on-one. Fine, if you want to double team Higgins, you leave Jamar Chase on island and Tyler Warren. If you want to double team Tyler Warren because he's such a threat in the pass game and he's such a huge specimen of a man, fine, leave Jamar Chase, the best wide receiver in the league, and T. Higgins wide open. I don't think you guys understand. I might be an offensive-minded guy. Maybe I value the offense more than the defense. And I know we had a really bad defense this year. But even speaking of the defense, our new defensive coordinator, Al Golden, do you know where he played football? When he was a player, he played at Penn State. Do you know what he played? Tight end. What about Mike Gesicki, right? Where did he play football in college? Penn State. Obviously, what does he play? Tight end. I think both of them, even if Mike Gesicki gets a contract, which we're going to have to pay that man, right? After having the best season, second best season of his career, we paid him $2.5 million this season. He's probably going to maybe double that, $5 million. I don't know if Cincinnati's willing to pay that. So especially if Mike Gesicki walks in free agency, I'm not about to go into 2025 season hoping for a Super Bowl with my tight ends being Drew Sample and Tanner Hudson. I have love for both of them because they're Bengals. I love every single Bengal. But I'm not banking on them being the tight ends with Joe Burrow that could help us go to the Super Bowl, what we should be contending for every single year. But with a guy like Tyler Warren, once again, if we sign Mike Gesicki and go get Tyler Warren, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yoshavash, Mike Gesicki, Tyler Warren, Joe freaking Burrow, and Chase Brown. And then go draft the running back late because we need help in the running back room. Go get Cam Scattaboo from Arizona State late. Go get Ollie Gordon II from Oklahoma State late. And then you add one of those two names, or maybe Quinshad Judkins from Ohio State, maybe Trayvon Henderson from Ohio State. There's so many names in this draft. And if you add literally just those two pieces to this offense, that's the best offense in the NFL right now. That offense would put up 50 points every single week. Even with Colston Loveland, I think. Even with Colston Loveland. I had to watch that man burn Ohio State for the past 3 years. He's a beast. He might not have the size, but he has the speed. He's literally a wide receiver in the tight end build. Same with Tyler Warren. Either of these two. Right here. That didn't look as good as I thought. Boom. Colston Loveland, Tyler Warren. If we have the opportunity to get either of them, I'm taking him. 100%. 100%. Go in the comments. Say we need defense. Yes, I agree. Go get a free agency and go use the draft picks to get defense. But I don't know about you. I'm tired of going through a freaking rotation of tight ends. I want a tight end, young, who I know is going to be a Bengal for the foreseeable future. And I think either Colston Loveland or Tyler Warren could be them. And if we draft either of them, they will be in the stripes for at least the next 10 years. Or should be. Because I project they would be probably one of the best tight ends in that 5-year span. If we draft him, we would obviously be on the rookie contract for the next 5 years, depending on the round. They would be arguably, I would 100% say, arguably the best tight ends in the NFL. And then you sign Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland for another 5-year deal, and then you have them for 10 years. And with that offense we have now, adding those just key players, yes. I love tight ends, apparently. I love Tyler Warren. I love Colston Loveland. Watch out for them. I love Erick All. What's so incredibly sad about losing Erick All, that's not Erick All, is the fact his blocking game was a key factor for Cincinnati's run game this season. When he was in, the run game efficiency was 83%. So this is a huge hit for Cincinnati losing Erick All this next season. Because our running game wasn't what it should be last season. But Erick All was improving it. And I think Chase Brown in his third season is going to have a massive explosion of a year, just like he did this season, but get even better. And you go add a guy to give him help in the draft, skyrocket. And if you go get a guy like Tyler Warren who can replace Erick All for the time being as the main blocking tight end, but obviously he would be out in the receiving game as well, obviously, that would be huge. That would be huge. The offensive line for the Bengals struggled. A tight end wouldn't be the worst pickup because he would be a threat in the receiving game, but then he would also be able to help the offensive line protect Joe Burrow. Not saying he has to go out and block every single play. Maybe you have a 2 tight end set, right? Have Mike Gesicki go out on a route and have Tyler Warren block. You know how insane that would be? They wouldn't know what to do. The defense wouldn't know what to do. They'll play man on man. Someone lock up a Mike Gesicki, someone lock up Tyler Warren, and then all of a sudden Tyler Warren's a freaking tackle going. They wouldn't know what to do. All right, I went on a spiel way too much, but this is incredibly sad news for Erick All Jr. as well. Obviously, I feel terrible for him. I can't wait for him. I hope it's not true. I hope the surgeries go well and he actually recovers in enough time to be back in 2025. But if not, and especially if Mike Gesicki, we can't come to a deal, which wouldn't be the first time in Cincinnati that's happened, let's be honest, expect a tight end with the first-round pick. Expect it to be Tyler Warren or Colston Loveland. But that's done with my tight end spiel. Thank you so much for watching. Oh, yeah, I'm wearing Cincinnati Reds. Shout out my Cincinnati Reds, Mr. Ellie De La Cruz, best baseball player in the world. He's on the cover of MLB The Show 25. This is not sponsored, but I just want to give a shout out to my Cincinnati boys. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to put up that graphic again. 93% of you watching right now are not subscribed, so please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Trying to build a community of Houday Nation and Bengals fans. Hit that like button, please. Comment on what you think we should do in tight ends, or if you think I should shut up about the tight ends. If you think I'm blabbery-mouthing about the tight ends too much, let me know in the comments down below. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace out.